This video is brought to you by NordVPN. If you need a VPN, Nord is the industry leader. Stay safe browsing for all of the content that you enjoy, and thanks to Key Issues, enjoy massive discounts when you use our coupon code. Save 70% at checkout at nordvpn.com/keyissues and get 2 amazing gifts: 4 extra months with the 3-year plan and the NordPass Password Manager app for free. Thanks and enjoy the video. Welcome back to another edition of our award-winning suit ranking video series. What awards have we won, you asked? None. But we've gained a lot of subscribers from these videos, and frankly, all of you are the true award to me. This series has been consistently popular with you guys, and we have been asked time and time again to discuss today's subject: the God of Thunder, aka Point Break, aka the Strongest Avenger, aka Thor, Odin's son. Thor has some iconic looks throughout his live-action history, and we're going to break down each and every one of them. We're going to power rank them and tell you exactly which ones are at the absolute apex and why. But before we begin, let's give a quick disclaimer. Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. These suit rankings are just our opinion, and they're formed by a combination of nostalgia, form, function, strengths and weaknesses, and aesthetics. Everybody's opinion is different, and we value yours. Please feel free to let us know what your favorites are down in the comments section. Politely. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the video. Honorable mentions aren't something we do too often here at Key Issues, but with Thor we felt like we should make a few exceptions. Keep in mind these outfits aren't ranked, but they aren't also true suits, so we didn't want to leave them out, but we didn't want to put them in the actual ranking list. First off, we have the Unworthy Thor, which is basically just a t-shirt and jeans, and it's not actually any type of armor, but Thor wears it for the vast majority of the entire debut movie that he was in, so not technically a suit, but worth mentioning. Next up, we have an outfit we call Hipster Thor, and this also is technically Thor's armor, but there's an illusion cast over it to make it look like regular walking around clothing. Even Mjolnir is actually made into an umbrella. And the last honorable mention we have is actually the strongest suit of all. It was originally ranked at number 1, but Garrick made me change it, and that is Hospital Gown Thor. And you might be wondering how this outranks some of the other suits on the list in my mind, and it's because it's the most dangerous. Nothing strikes fear into the hearts of man like a semi-naked dude running through a shadowy complex in a hospital gown beating down security guards. But that's just me. That's my personal take on the suit. Alright, now that all of those things have been taken care of, let's rank some actual god tier suits. Coming in at number 12, we have the Incredible Hulk Returns, and this is the only suit on the list that existed before the MCU was a twinkle in Kevin Feige and Disney's eyes, and it's also, unfortunately, last place. Made for the 1988 TV movie The Incredible Hulk Returns, Thor's suit is a bit campy. It kind of looks just like standard Viking attire. The helmet is cool, but the rest of the suit really doesn't hold up over time. Even Mjolnir is painfully tiny, and it's kind of weird considering Thor had a long, storied history in the comics at this time. They should have grabbed something from there for inspiration. At number 11, we have Marvel Universe Live. Worn during the live-action stage show Marvel Universe Live, this costume is clearly based off of a combination of comic book influences and Thor's MCU attire. It is significantly lower quality than other stage costumes, and it's made out of a material that's designed to allow the actor to move in a live-action setting because they have to. Essentially, think of this as very high-quality cosplay. Additionally, in my opinion, the helmet looks really cool, and I also like the breastplate. At number 10, we have Cloaked Thor, and this version of Thor is basically the same as another suit that's much higher on the list, the Dark World suit. However, there are some minor additions that are kind of hard to mention here. However, it does feature a similar cloak to the one that Heimdall wore while trying to remain inconspicuous during Ragnarok. It is a fine look, but honestly, it's covering up the goods, so it deserves to be banished to Muspelheim. Coming in at number 9, we have Bro Thor, which is the unfortunate official name of this version of the character. Now, I've already made a video that has a tremendous amount of views on Thor's endgame character regression, but purely from an aesthetic standpoint, this look just never resonated with me. It's technically just a big Lebowski-esque ripoff. It's a robe and some long johns underneath, and we felt like including this because it's iconic at this point. Endgame was the biggest movie of all time, and Thor wore this outfit for the majority of it. I even bumped this up a few points in the list because my man rocks some sick sunglasses to hide his hangovers, but Ultimately, it's not that good of a look, but I did bump it up a little bit again because it has one of the most powerful weapons in the MCU associated with it, Stormbreaker. The lowest ranked of Thor's actual battle armors at number 8 is Thor's armor from the original Avengers movie, and that doesn't mean it's bad. If I'm being honest, none of Thor's armors are bad. They're all extremely awesome. This one is just the least awesome, in my opinion. I think for me, it's kind of how this outfit seems to flare out a bit from the shoulders. It makes it seem a bit 80s of a look, but it does look significantly more badass when the armor plating is activated on his arms. The circles on his breastplates are a bit oversized for me, but they still look pretty great. My problems are purely aesthetic. Another positive for this specific design, and it does have to do with a bit of nostalgia, is I like the fact that he was sporting longer hair here than in his first appearance. I didn't like the shorter hair of the original Thor design. At number 7, we have the post-Ultron Thor / Ragnarok suit, and this suit is pretty slick and definitely goes for a very minimalist feel. It also happens to be the basis for some of the other suits on this list that are ranked much higher. This armor is worn when Thor is confronting Surtur and searching for Loki and Odin. It doesn't feature the circular designs on the breastplate, but instead looks to be mostly leather. It's also been drastically stripped down in terms of intricate designs on the breastplate, pants, forearm bands, and other elements. This also happens to be the last costume where Thor's primary weapon was Mjolnir. RIP, pouring out for the homie. At number 6, we have the suit from Thor 1. Thor's first big screen solo film set the stage for how his armor would evolve, and it remains as one of my personal favorites and one of the most iconic suits he's worn. When we first set eyes on Thor, he's wearing his coronation armor, planning on taking his place as the rightful king of Asgard. But then, of course, his coronation is interrupted by some shifty frost giants. The coronation armor is his base armor set he used throughout his battle in Jotunheim, as well as in the end of the film as he regains his abilities. It features his signature winged helmet, which is only worn for a very brief period of time, a flowing red cape, armored breastplate, and scaled armor sleeves. The pants are fine and they fit well within the outfit, but the whole thing is tied together with a hammer forged in the heart of a dying star, Mjolnir. A weapon that, when wielded by the worthy, bestows upon the user all of the powers of the god of thunder, Thor. It's a pretty awesome suit. At number 5, we have Thor's suit from Thor: The Dark World and Age of Ultron. Despite being the poorest performing MCU film, Thor: The Dark World featured, in my opinion, an improved suit for Thor. The suit was a bit darker in color palette and toned down almost all of the overtly ornate nature of Thor's first 2 big screen costumes. The suit added the same silver scaling from the arms to the legs and cleaned the entire look up in a big way. Thor's hair is also a bit longer than in previous appearances, which helps lend to the overall battle-worn look of the character. This armor seems like armor that's been through some shit, and at this point it has, seeing as at the beginning of Thor: The Dark World we learn that Thor spent the majority of his time since the Avengers re-establishing order among the 9 realms. This armor, in my opinion, is drastically overlooked, and it's a great example of the costume fitting the tone of the film. At number 4, we have Gladiator Thor, and after being stripped of his magical hammer Mjolnir and thrust into the harsh gladiatorial battle world of the Grandmaster known as Sakaar, we find Thor in a completely different type of armor. The base of this armor is the same as Thor's look post-Ultron when he's searching for his father, however it's been heavily modified to suit his new surroundings. Drawing less inspiration from Viking lore and more from Roman gladiatorial armor, we see Thor in a completely different way. Gone is his kingly armor and long flowing hair, replaced by clothes befitting a slave and a shorter haircut. The ornate breastplate and flowing cape are gone, replaced by leather gladiatorial armor and a singular shoulder pauldron. Add a small scrap of cape made into a sash, and you're pretty much done. The armor and studded pants are replaced by lighter, quicker material resembling leather, but made for the agility needed in the battle pits. The entire outfit is made complete by a battle helmet that's inspired by Thor's classic helmet and twin swords. And he also has like a shield and a mallet for like 8 seconds before Hulk destroys them. Taking home the bronze medal is King Thor, and this suit is foundationally very similar to the Stormbreaker Thor suit. It's seen primarily throughout the majority of Avengers Infinity War, and it features Thor in a black molded set of battle armor with the return of the circles on his breastplate armor that act as electricity conductors. It also features Thor with a badass eye patch like the Pirate King of Space Asgard. The only thing holding this suit back is the fact that he doesn't have a true weapon for the majority of this film. But it's almost like if he did have a weapon, that suit might be later on the list, in a higher place. Foreshadowing. Taking home the silver medal is Thor the Worthy from Endgame, and this version is so close to being the best version of Thor that it really hurts me to rank him at number 2. This suit takes the best aspects of some of the most unique and form-fitting costumes we've seen for Thor and smashes them together. It has the armored look of Thor's original costume through Age of Ultron and adds in the darker color palette of the Stormbreaker suits. This suit also features both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, two of the most powerful weapons in the known universe. Now, to the untrained eye, you might think that this is an identical suit to the Thor Stormbreaker suit, and it's not. There are some slight differences between the breastplates and pants, but one of the things that really kills this suit for me is Thor's physique. Because of the fact that Thor's character is overweight at this point in the film, he isn't able to fight at his full potential, and also the suit looks a bit awkward at times. That's not me body shaming Thor, that's just me saying that he's put his body through a lot of damage and it's taken its toll on his physical appearance and the suit that he wears. However, one element of this suit that I really like is the longer hair and beard that's braided. I think it looks really awesome and helps add a much needed accent to this armor. But it isn't number 1, and that is because the best design we see for Thor is without a doubt Stormbreaker Thor. This suit is built upon the foundation of the King Thor suit and adds in the summoned armor sleeves and red cape. To the untrained eye, as I mentioned before, it looks very similar to the Endgame Worthy suit. However, the reason this suit outranks that is because of those small changes as well as Thor's form when he's in it. There's also a bit of nostalgia that plays into here. I think that Thor's scene when he shows up in Wakanda and says, "Bring me Thanos," is one of the most iconic scenes in all of the MCU. The way the electricity connects on the conductors on his chest are awesome, and obviously the Stormbreaker weapon is a massive highlight. I'm not saying Stormbreaker is cooler than Mjolnir, it is, but that's not what I'm saying. Actually, tell me what you think down in the comments. Are you a Stormbreaker person or are you a Mjolnir person? Hashtag Stormbreaker gang in the comments, please. Regardless, the Stormbreaker suit is the definition of Thor at his strongest and most confident. It's a one-of-a-kind suit, and frankly, I don't know if Marvel can actually replicate its awesomeness, but hopefully they can. But that is it for this suit ranking video. We know this one has been requested for quite some time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, but the real battle for Asgard has just begun down in the comments. Let us know what suits you agree with and which you disagree with and why, and just try to keep it cool. This has been Nick with Key Issues, thanking you all for watching, and remember the motto, Thor over everything.